to the Cinementalists. Noun, plural. Definition, those whose love for movies runs so deep, they can't help but do a podcast about them. Hosted by Colton Robertson and Joseph George. Hello everybody and welcome in to the Cinementalists. Our anticipation of The Final Reckoning continues to mount as we hit the fifth film in the franchise, Mission Impossible Rogue Nation. It was released on July 31st, 2015, written for the screen by Drew Pearce and Christopher McQuarrie, based on the TV show by Bruce Geller, and directed by Christopher McQuarrie. I am Colton Robertson. I'm joined by Joseph George. What's up, homie?
Oh, what up, what up? Always a pleasure to be here.
Oh, and it's always a pleasure to have you. And Rogue Nation, this is the fifth film in the franchise. Like I said, it is the first entry from Christopher McQuarrie, and he will be doing them from now on. How does that make you feel after watching this one?
Yeah, this, I think it's kind of on par with last movie, I think. They're different. They're not quite the same. I think the last one is more action-packed. This one is a lot more meticulous and more about the misdirection and all of, the little chess match that's kind of going on and sort of thing. But, still awesome action. The openings are, I feel like, always just really, really sick. I can't believe, everything in the opening that I knew of the movie was like kind of already done with. It's like, all right, he hung off the plane.
It all happens very quick.
And the pole, maneuver, everything. It was all like right within the opening. So I'm like, man, okay, that was I everything else is full fresh territory. So that at least was nice. But yeah, this one I like. At least Benji here, I think, got a major highlight this movie. Like he really, really took off. Almost got the character, strong characters in this one. I feel like Benji and everyone's kind of on. I don't know. Brant is kind of, I don't know. Jeremy Renner's just kind of in the background. I feel like more of this movie than last. But
yeah, but he's still a fun presence. Like his exploration was a little bit more in Ghost Protocol, and this time around, it's just kind of showing how those events affected him a little bit, like the way that he has a certain loyalty to Ethan instead of the CIA or the IMF or anything like. So I appreciate his character in the movie. I do think that he's definitely the one that falls by the wayside a little bit though. But it's more than made up with for Benji and for Ilsa, who is the new queen. There's never been someone more suited to Ethan. If I'm being honest, I love their chemistry.
Yeah. I guess I was. Who was I forgot her name. The last movie, and I was
Paula
like,
Patton?
Man, yeah, sad that she won't be returning. Yeah, Paula Patton. But I can't really complain. Whenever Rebecca Ferguson came in and did what she did. Yeah, it's crazy to me that she's pretty beautiful in Dune. I don't want to say that she looks like bad, but it doesn't do her justice like this movie does. I don't this one. She is on. I don't know. I saw her completely differently here. This was
that was actually a pleasant surprise for me. Whenever you were like, "Wait a second, why is she hot?" When you text me, and I was like, I don't know. I've just always kind of known she's hot. I don't know. It took me by surprise that one had to realize it. That's so funny.
Oh my God. I'm like, because in Dune, I'm like, she's always super costumed up,
Yeah, super costumed up, and she's also playing someone kind of freaky. Yeah.
Not like this is seductive on this. I don't know. This is oh my Lord. And yeah, I think, there's some shots that are a little gratuitous, I think, a little bit, and maybe a little too going into that vein. But man, no, they play it well, I feel like here, otherwise. And just the she's like, all right, her option 3, Ethan, I feel like he legitimately was like, wait a minute. He had a
I loved when Luther went,
fuck.
Oh.
Yeah, boy. Yeah, what he said? Like, oh, boy.
I think he just went, boy. Yeah, that was so good. He was, because, again, it's going back to the fact that this dude knows Ethan better than anybody. He knows Ethan's like a romantic at heart. He's like, oh, no, this is actually something he might think about.
I mean,
or just
she
adds a
sold
whole
it
other
well.
layer. Yeah, adds a whole other layer to the dynamic that like he's like, ah, damn, now he's really gonna do anything for her, and like all like it's fun, dude. And that's why like I love Rebecca Ferguson as Ilsa Faust.
Oh, yeah.
And it's the first time that I felt like I might be comfortable going with someone outside of Tom Cruise for performance since 3. What Philip Seymour Hoffman did in 3 is really, really incredible. He did a lot with a little, and there's not really a standout the way that there was in 3. But I feel like Cruise doesn't have to do as much as he's had to do in the first 4. Like I pointed out a couple movies ago that when it came to De Palma, Wu, Abrams, he's doing massively different performances for all 3 of those people, just different sides of Ethan Hunt. And then 4, kind of narrows in a little bit on something. This Ethan Hunt is all of them wrapped into one, and it's who he is from now on. And that's what Christopher McQuarrie and Tom Cruise are really, really good at together, is having found that character. Like they understand who he is, and he'll do anything for his friends. He will defy all rules if it means that it saves somebody. All that good stuff. But Tom Cruise doesn't have to do as much as he did in previous movies because he's found himself in a way. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a strange balance. And not to say that he does bad. He doesn't. He's obviously great as Ethan Hunt. It's just that even Simon Pegg did Simon Pegg was one I was tempted to go with. Rebecca Ferguson, of course, was one I was tempted to go with. Alec Baldwin, I was tempted to go with, dude. Alec Baldwin is a guy who I don't want to like as much as I do.
Yeah.
Every time I see Alec Baldwin in something, he is a pleasant surprise. I really enjoy him as an actor.
Yeah. This role was kind of cool too, where he kind of was kind of the bad guy, or like you didn't really like him at first. He was kind of just anti-IMF and just kind of the CIA guy. But and then like at the end where Ethan is like, no, like you took him down and you defended the prime minister, you saved him and everything. He's like, oh,
goddamn.
Fuck yeah. And then immediately going and be like, no, actually the IMF needs to be reinstated.
Yeah,
I'm
it was
like,
actually
okay.
all a part of
I'm
a
like,
cover-up. I helped perpetrate. Yeah,
Damn.
it was good. Mr. Secretary, so good.
I can neither
love that.
confirm nor deny the details of any operation without the proof. Yeah, I don't know. It's
without
I
the
didn't make
approval
the
of the
rules,
secretary.
God, yeah. I wonder how much of that shit is really just going on. Whatever. But man, this like villain and kind of evil that's going on. I feel like they're different.
Sean
it's
Harris
kind of
as Solomon Lane.
Yeah, it's like you have Lane, and then you also have like the syndicate at large, and like I feel like I don't know. It's at least last movie, it was just kind of like, all right, there is the evil guy. There's the one, the one dude who's doing his thing, and he has his goal, and he's gonna stop at nothing. And it was just very clear, kind of cut and dry. This one, I feel like it's not like you're expecting Lane to be a good guy or have a redemption. I don't know. He's evil, and he's out to do harm and everything. But I feel like there's just so much else going on where I'm trying to constantly figure out the misdirection and everything, and I'm like just thinking so much more during the movie that like I can't just sit back and be like, oh fuck, like the world almost they almost got vapor. I don't know. It's like just a different mindset that I guess I'm in.
No, yeah, this villain is Moriarty to Ethan's Sherlock. Like it's the perfect foil who's always one step ahead. It makes Ethan think outside the box. Solomon Lane is a perfect counterpart to Ethan Hunt, and the syndicate at large a perfect foil to the IMF. Like that's a great concept, and I really love. We locked up Solomon Lane. That syndicate still exists, bro. It's not like he was the head of it. Yeah, he created it, but like it's not like they took down the syndicate. They took down the head of it. But what do they do? And like, is there? Because I'll tell you something: the syndicate doesn't go away. Yeah, it's not something that stops coming.
The idea, it's a good idea, but like, idea. But like obviously I see why the prime minister was like, yeah, no, we can't do that, because and then yeah, it's like I feel like the real villain, like Lane, is more of the one who took it to the height, but like Atlee being like the found, I don't know, making it and not actually stopping it. Like obviously he wanted to see it go through and not just be something theoretical. So I feel like, yeah, there's not really like one true villain here, and the real villain is just kind of like the syndicate at large. It's kind of like everything, which is at least one of my favorite dynamics of the movie is how everyone knows Ethan and they love him, and they're like, I guess I don't know. They never really say they love him, but like they trust him. Like at just he sees the only way, everything. But this is like the first time where they're kind of struggling with that. They're like, wait, like is this becoming a little too personal for him? Is he out just to get Lane? Like, is his judgment being clouded and stuff? I think it was an interesting dynamic to throw in. That's at least where Jeremy Renner, I think, gave some of the juice for the movie, is just being the counter and being like, no, we obviously have to warn the British that like the prime minister is in danger and everything. And so I liked that back and forth of like not trusting Ethan for kind of the first time, but not really due to his like capability or his abilities, but just because like, I don't know, it's the first time where he might be going a little bit insane. I don't know. Like he's never been tested like this. I feel like, and everything's been easy for him. And even, I don't know, I feel like even in this one, he's already reached that like legendary status a little bit.
Oh, like, there's the chick at the beginning who's like, I've heard the stories about you. They can't all be true. And he just kind of smiles and walks away. Like that's good stuff. I love, and what Hunley says to the British Prime Minister about how Ethan Hunt is the manifestation of destiny, is the living manifestation of destiny, and he's just made you his mission. That's my favorite. That's my favorite line of the movie. I mean, another like a fun little gag is whenever they complete the operation at the beginning of the movie, and they're like, and the hearing gets done and stuff, and Hunley tells Brant, set your watch. Ethan Hunt is living his last day as a free man. Smash cut 6 months later. So good.
6 months. Yeah, bro and he's doing push-ups, and he just has racks of money.
Beard.
Bro is like, and I'm like, yo, okay. And then I'm like, I actually thought they were like going to catch him. I thought he was just so confident that he could just kill all of them or like smart them, that he was like letting them infiltrate his room. But then the reveal of like, he's not even there. I'm like, God damn it, this dude is too good. I'm like,
he's in Paris. He's on a whole other continent. It's too good.
Oh my God. Yeah. So I mean, Ethan Hunt, like at least I still gave him the character here, even though Benji was super close. Like Benji was actually, I think, the closest he could have been. Ilsa was actually pretty close. I thought her, like, she just added a really interesting, she was, I feel like the catalyst for the movie. I don't know. Like she just
100%. Ilsa is, aside from Ethan Hunt, my favorite character in the franchise. Now, I don't know if that gets reflected in any specific movie, but it is more just the way her and Ethan's chemistry operates. For me, just they fire on all cylinders together. They are both obviously meant to work side by side. Or run away together or something. Just like one way or the other, they're supposed to be together, And I love watching Rebecca Ferguson and Tom Cruise act across from one another. So yeah, I was very tempted to go. Tempted to go anywhere else between those two for character, and I don't know who I'm going to land on for performance between those two, but I think it is going to be either Rebecca Ferguson or Simon Pegg. I don't know who.
I gave it to Rebecca Ferguson at least. More of like I realized how incredibly sexy she was during this movie. That's one, but then also like it's not just that. Like she's also like being like she's leading them astray. I don't know, the misdirection from her, and then but also wanting to be on Ethan's side kind of at the same. I don't know, and I didn't know really. I didn't know like where her loyalties like were exactly at any given point, which was I don't know. I thought
they do a lot of fun, playful stuff there. Is she British intelligence? Yes, she is. She's undercover for Solomon Lane, but is she now loyal to Solomon Lane and she's betraying the British government? Oh, you can't tell. I don't know. What is this? I don't know. Yeah, it's But then there comes that point whenever you're like, she's loyal. Now she's loyal to Ethan, which is sick.
Yeah.
That's good stuff.
He just kind of has that, I don't know, innate ability. If you just meet Ethan, I feel like that's just it. You just have to like witness the dude, and then that's it. Because like she, like during the scene, the opening, whenever he's trapped and about the bone doctor or whatever about about to get beat up, she's like already helping. Like I guess she was already under Lane's control and everything. Like she is still doing what Lane wants her to do, but like. What did Lane want her to actually help Ethan escape, or was it? I guess like he said eventually, like it doesn't matter. No matter what happened, I thought of every outcome. Blah blah blah.
Yeah, we would have ended up here regardless.
Yeah.
Well, and that's where I don't think so. I think that every time she let Ethan go, that wasn't necessarily the plan. The sooner he could have had her. The sooner he could have had him, the better. It didn't, but they would have ended up in the same place regardless. It's just it happened to be when it happened.
Dang.
Yeah. So I think that she does genuinely well. And originally, she acts on the principle that she knows Ethan Hunt is an intelligence agent. She knows that he is like on the same side as her ostensibly. So like she's like, what if I get him out? Then she meets with Atlee, who realizes he doesn't. She realizes then that he doesn't care if Ethan Hunt lives or dies, and she's like, "Well, that's not the kind of agency I want to be aligned with." Like it's a good little dynamic there. I think it's cool the way they explore just how. I mean, she's again the perfect counterpart to Ethan Hunt. She carries herself in a very similar way. She's obviously a little bit more fatal in her actions. She will snap a motherfucker's neck pretty quick.
Dude. Oh my lord, the dude that she like was beating up and then choked him out with her thighs and then just stood up, like she
rode him to the ground.
Oh my god! If that's how I went, if that's how I died, I wouldn't
hard
be
to
too
complain.
Mad. I
hard
wouldn't be
to
too
complain,
mad. But way cool. I mean, the move that's a fucking power move.
Sick.
You didn't
that's
even
sick.
have. I mean,
and then talking to Lane after and being like, "If you're gonna kill me, then kill me." He just picks up the gun and shoots the guy behind her. That's a great fucking moment, and one of those things that helps that Rebecca Ferguson actor choice as far as your favorite performance, because the genuine fright that she exhibits after is really, really strong. Like just the.
It's almost more scary.
Yeah,
more scary
it is.
Other guy got killed and not
because
me.
He didn't do anything. He didn't do a fucking thing, dude. So now she's like, oh, well, you clearly do not give a flying fuck if I live or die, and you have plans for me because you didn't kill me. Like there's just something obvious about the looming threat when that happens. It's too good. I find this to be the most underrated of the franchise. As far as I just don't see it at the top. It's usually middle to bottom half of lists as far as ranking Mission Impossible. And I get that something has to be. It's not like like my favorite like Ghost Protocol ends up being middle for me, and I love Ghost Protocol. So it's like what do we what how do you determine that? But Rogue Nation, I don't know. I just don't hear enough about it either. I think that like you hear more about the next movie, you hear more about the movie before, and I don't know. It feels like the perfect little middle point between those two. I really, really do enjoy it.
I guess I haven't seen the next ones, so I don't like. I feel like I don't have the true scope of like Ethan Hunt as the character, but at least like this felt the most Ethan Hunt so far, other than one. Like one was like, I don't know, he's kind of figuring, I don't know, we're meeting him and everything, and I feel like
he's also young, like there's something cool about the way he's evolved. Like we are at this point 20 years on from the first Mission Impossible.
Lord.
You know what I'm saying?
Lord.
Like it's been that long since he was that age at that time. Like it's a person grows and changes a lot. So I think that there's a certain maturity he has in this and a certain poise. Like the reason you don't see him exhibit that sort of paranoia in the same way as he did in one is because he's found a certain confidence in himself. Like he knows he has friends, he knows he has allies, he knows he can achieve things better than he could in one. And I think that's it's really cool to see the way he's grown. But sorry, I interrupted when we started talking about Tom Cruise there.
No, I just love how like it's like he does say like Alec Baldwin, the manifestation of destiny, whatever. But like I feel like it is truly that. Like it isn't luck. It isn't like that. Like Ethan just does. Like, if it must occur, like it just has to happen that way. Like I don't. It's just like a sort of like a faith thing. I don't like because even like oh my God, I'm thinking Simon Pegg. Benji, hello, that's his actual name. Yeah, in the movie, Benji, whenever he's about to do like the walk, go through the security measures, and he's about to walk, and this is like the real, Ethan needs the security tag to be swapped out right then and there. It's like sequence. Oh my God, yeah, like Benji has to fully trust that Ethan is just going to be able to do that. Like there's no, he's completely putting his life in Ethan's hands. In this,
he moment. Also has complete faith that he'll be able to do it when they're planning it. He's like, so what's that mean? You got to hold your breath underwater? He's like, yeah, for 2 minutes. He's like, oh, Ethan can do that.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
He's like, and he's like, and what about switching out the thing? He's like, that takes a minute tops. 3 minutes then. You can do that. And Ethan's like, okay, I guess I can do that. It's too good. Yeah. Well, and that's what's funny is, you mentioned it last week whenever, in Ghost Protocol, whenever they're talking about climbing the side of the Burj Khalifa. And Simon Pegg's like, you're going to have to do it. And he's like, what if I did this? He's like, nope, too long. He exhibits a little bit of hesitation in the face of just like, man, it's more likely than not that I will die. You know what I'm saying? Like, the odds of me die. Yeah, he does literally die. He does literally die.
Even with the help of someone else. Well, yeah, I guess no. He was dead just before she even got in there. But yeah, bro was brought back to life and drove at top speed minutes later.
I mean, love the confusion. He like if I was going to give Tom Cruise the performance, it would be because of those moments whenever he's like Simon Pegg's like, you were just dead a minute ago, and he goes, what
are you talking about? What? And then like Ilsa just like takes the shit and leaves and kills Benji for Benji dies there too, I guess, for a little bit. And then Ethan's just like, wait, what?
Yeah,
what's going on?
Hold on. Yeah, and then he like tries to jump over a car. He fails. It's too good, man. I love the. I love it. It's so funny.
Benji still like he's like, well, obviously, even Ethan in a just minutes after death, no oxygen in the brain,
should be driving.
Still better than me driving. Yeah, it's like so. And then I love how he passes out before they even actually crash. So he wakes up and he's like, "Oh fuck, look out!" or whatever.
Yeah, but, it's too good. When they slam into the side of Luther and Brant, and they both just look at each other and they're like, "Okay."
Yeah, you wanted the 4x4, of course.
Yeah, again, see, that's why I love that dynamic. And again, sorry about that. Luther isn't as big a role in this movie as I would like him to be. I've been building up that he's a little bit bigger. He is in 6 and 7. He is a bigger role in 6 and 7. But it's more his presence in the story that I really, really love. Just the steadfast faith in Ethan. Whenever Brant is arguing and he's like, sometimes Ethan is the one who can see the only way. You might see a way, he might see a way, but he sees the only way. So whatever Ethan says, I'm down for it. I believe it. And that's just dope. He delivers an I'm his friend line. I love the I'm your friend. I love the way that they're not shot like. I've seen someone criticize the scene where Simon Pegg, and they got fucking lit up for criticizing it, by the way. But it's a real perspective that people hold. Whenever Simon Pegg tells Ethan Hunt off, whenever Ethan's trying to get him to go home, you've done your work. I can't protect you anymore. He's like, I'm your friend. I'm going to stay. There's nothing you can do about it. That's all we're going to say about that, because it's a real cheesy, I love you, you're my bestie sort of vibe, and like someone called it like Nickelodeon dialogue or something, and they got lit the fuck up. They got lit the fuck up for it. But no, but that's the thing. Even if it was that, it's delivered with such earnestness and such a good performance that I all of a sudden don't see it that way. Like if you are, yeah, if you take these lines, these literal lines, and plug them into a Disney film by a worse actor who is 16, yeah, they sound that way. You know what I'm saying? That's the strength of a good actor. You know, that's a good director. That's a good actor. That's how things go. So when Simon Pegg delivers these lines and Tom Cruise goes, okay, you know, like, all right, yeah, all right, you know, my man, you're down to ride. I like it. It changes it completely.
I think there's like a threshold you have to pass of like, if you're gonna be corny, you either have to take it so seriously, like they are doing here, where it doesn't even seem corny, and it is just like, yeah, you're getting the ideas across. But if it's corny in the Disney environment, then you only see it as like, oh, come on now, like this is cheesy as hell.
Then
but
it's
like,
almost parody.
Yeah,
you know?
but whenever it is taken seriously like this, I feel like it is like a strength of like, it's like you're getting across.
Motherfuckers don't realize people are corny, bro.
Yeah.
That's how, like, anytime anybody gets vulnerable in real life, it's a little corny. You know what I'm saying? But you don't treat it like that because it's real life. You know, you go like, like it's just, it just is. I don't know. That's how I look at it. Whenever someone gets called corny in a movie, it's usually really, really endearing. You know, whenever someone is being corny, you're just kind of like, that's cute. You know, I don't know. That's always how I look at it. But,
yeah, but I don't know, Luther here, like, you're right, he was, like, I do want him to be more, but every time he is there, like, he's delivering, like, the best, I don't know, like, just straight up ideas, like, talking to Brant, being like, hey, like, I don't know you fully, but I know Ethan, and I trust Ethan, and if I ever have to guess on what side you're on, you know, like...
He just kind of looks at him.
Yeah, and he's like, yeah, you get it, you know, and then, I mean... Like, I love that. He's always on Ethan's side, and I love those lines he delivers. But my favorite line of the movie still does come from him, and it's just whenever he's trying to track Ilsa. And Brant's like, or maybe I don't know if it's Brant, or I think it's Brant. It might be Benji. But they're trying to track her, and one of them goes like, hey, like, is this even possible? Like, how can you track someone from a drawing alone? And then he goes, for mere mortals, no. But for me, I could have done this at home. And then whoever else is there, he's like, so how long is this going to take? I found her. Like, he cuts him off. He's like, yep, got her already. And I don't know, he's just on it. Like,
yeah, that's with Brant. That's with Brant at that time. Right. Yeah. And that's what's fun too, is that I like the pairings. The way they pair people off is always nice, you know? Brant, like, I'm so sorry. This has happened the last couple weeks. I can't get all my words out. Brant and Luther spend a lot of one-on-one time together in this movie, which I think is a funny dynamic, like making it so that Ving Rhames and Jeremy Renner are going to act off each other for the bulk of the movie is a funny idea. Like that's not something you would typically be like, yeah, I want to see Ving Rhames and Jeremy Renner together, but here we are, and it works. They have a good chemistry. They have a funny rapport, and it works. And I think that Simon Pegg and Ving Rhames, they show that they have a little bit of a chemistry early on in the movie. Whenever they're the opening operation where Ethan hangs off the side of a plane and Tom Cruise is actually hanging off the side of a plane at 5,000 feet in the air.
Yeah. Watching that, like, I knew this happened. Like, obviously, the shot has just been so widespread. Like, I don't know, I knew this happened. But watching it in the movie, it just, like, recontextualized it. I'm like, even if he's on wires, it doesn't matter. The dude is outside of a plane. Like, the dude is, I don't know. The dude is, he's an incredible human being. Like, I am finding... Even if you are on wires, he is on the side of a plane as the plane takes off. Yeah, there's no other way to get that shot.
If he lets go, like, his hands have to stay there. Yep. If he lets go, he's being flung about on the side of the plane, even if he is on wires. You know, like, that's not... Like, that's real shit, bro. I don't know. That's crazy. And the fact that it's for the fact that it is for a 5-minute sequence at the beginning of the movie. It's not even an important part of the movie particularly. Yep. It's just like, yeah, check this out. This is what we're on. Bye. Like, that's good. That's fucking good.
Yep.
I don't know.
All the other systems are down. We can't stop the plane. What are we gonna? Ethan's like, I got it. Can
And
you
bro
open
just
the
runs.
door?
Yeah,
he's
like
I'm
his
on
introduction.
I'm on it.
Dude, so good, so good.
Yeah. So I mean, yeah, Ethan.
How'd you get in the plane? I'm not in the plane. I'm on it.
The other door or wrong
Yeah.
door? Yeah,
Yeah.
man. As he's yeah, good old. I don't know, but Simon Pegg. I don't know. We did say like performances in this movie are pretty strong. Like that, the end scene with Simon Pegg with the
dude.
bomb strapped to his
Yeah.
chest and him
Yeah.
like relaying Lane's words. Oh my god, that was like
When
that
he has like
scene was
tears in his
awesome.
eyes and he's
Oh,
saying
yeah.
stuff that Simon Pegg is a
Oh.
really incredible actor. I really, really love him. He was a series of movies that I really need to watch are the ones that he did with Edgar Wright, who directed Last Night in Soho. He did Shaun of the Dead, Hot Fuzz, and End of the World or something like that. It's a trilogy of movies with Simon Pegg, and I've never seen any of them, but I know for a fact I'll love them when I do. Yeah, he's done some fun stuff. I'm a big fan of Simon Pegg.
Yeah, he's at least character wise. Yeah, it's kind of him and Luther, as like the if it's not Ethan, it's just Benji or Luther. But now Ilsa, she's throwing a wrench into that. She's up there already. Just in the one movie, she's joining them. Not quite. I don't know if she can quite beat out Benji or Luther yet. I think they still are above her. But I don't know, coming in strong. That's for sure. But yeah, no, that end scene, I don't know. I thought it was just such a cool way to culminate it all. Like and have all the principles like show themselves of like how Ethan he's so certain. Like he is risking everyone's life in this restaurant or wherever they are, like his friends' lives and everyone around, but he's so confident. I don't know, this is the only way that it can work. And like whenever he just flips the bill, I don't know, and is just like whenever he drilled through the little USB drive, whatever, I'm like, wait, so like what the fuck? I'm like, what's his plan here? And then whenever he's like, no, I memorized it
am
all.
the disc.
I'm like, oh my fucking
And
god,
he's like,
you're
what
so
if
cool.
and now you're thinking, oh, he's bluffing. What if I am? What if I'm not? Like I love that whole thing. And frankly, I love the switch whenever he's like, we have to do exactly what Solomon Lane wants us to do. And then realizing that if at every step of the way they think about what Solomon Lane would want them to do, they can set up a trap for him that is what he wants them to do. It's a great sequence, man. I love the ending and that the dramatics of the glass box. One of my favorite little moments. One of my favorite little moments is whenever Simon Pegg just turns on the lights and all the lights come on. And it's like a normal parking garage, and that's that. Like they had it set up so where there was one light coming in through the top, and everyone was barely lit. Like the theatrics of the IMF is my favorite shit. I love how dramatic they all are.
They did it to him and to Ilsa. That when they trapped Ilsa in like the subway station or wherever, or the airport, and then they just boom, boom, they're all in every direction. And then here, for Lane 2, they slowly
and they bring back he could have killed me. I was in the glass box, but he didn't.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, it could have. Yeah, so is he just in prison? Bro's just in I guess I don't know. I feel like probably for I don't know. The
valuable
the syndicate,
asset if you want to take down the syndicate, you know, like you need to find more of their operations and shit.
That's so is now they're just like a headhunt for all of the how do you call them?
Ghosted
agents? The syndicates or the ghosts? Yeah, the I mean, goddamn, so smart. Like I thought, at least the girl that Lane killed initially in the record station, I thought she was gonna come back and be like, "This is how we get the ghost. Like we make you think." Like Ethan would have thought, no way, this girl is not dead. Like he would have reported her dead and missing, whatever. And then she becomes a ghost, whatever. I thought that might have been like a thing that was going to happen.
No, that girl just got shot in the head.
Yeah, she just died. I don't know.
Sadly.
And his his like logic of like, no, I used to kill, like I guess he was a military man before or something, where he says like, I used to kill for the government before, innocents and whatever for no reason, but now I kill for a very specific purpose, or it's surgical or whatever, and like, oh my, like, yeah, just the how evil can be justified, like it's the logic it tracks, which is like like for that mind, like it's crazy that they can fully convince themselves that like, oh no, yeah, I'm actually killing innocent people for a good reason. It's don't worry, guys, it's all for good. But just to incite war. Yeah, I don't know. It's like just trigger people just like to incite. I don't know. Think that war is the solution. It's very, very interesting. But I don't know. I liked at least Lane, this villain, the Moriarty type, the chess, the calculated, the Thrawn. Like this is the villain I love more, like so much more. But I think I actually prefer the dynamic of the previous movie. I don't like just a simple like we just have to stop this guy that might blow up the world. I don't like it was. I don't know. It surprised me that I actually didn't like this villain more. But I don't know if that's really the right. Like it's weird. Like I say that I don't like it more, but I still see these movies as kind of like equals. But just different flavors is the only way I can kind of describe it. But it's
they are to me the two closest films in the franchise as far as like. When we get to the ratings at the end of this episode, we've had a pretty wide variety. Like we had a 7.5 or something like that, an 8, 8.75, and 9 or 9.5. Like that's a lot. That's a lot of margin in between all of them. We're gonna find ourselves pretty close to the same as last week, I think. And it is for different reasons, though. I think that's what's interesting is that they are still. They are still different movies. Like I appreciate how much this one slows down compared to Ghost Protocol. It isn't all gas the way Ghost Protocol was. I love the night at the opera. That is my favorite scene in the movie. Everything at the opera is gorgeous. My favorite shot comes from that. It's when Ilsa lifts her leg and has the gun between her legs.
Oh my god, it was so clear. Like I'm like, this could not mean anything else.
She is big dicking these motherfuckers. It's incredible.
Yeah. And all the 3 different gun. There's like 3 different gunmen. Or
dude,
like
and the guns are sick. By the way, like them being made of instruments is so fucking cool.
Yeah, that was hard. That all the spyware in this one was pretty cool. Yeah, I don't know. It was more like just that, or there was one mask. I feel like a different mask making machine here.
Yeah,
which was
definitely
cool.
More sci-fi. Because it just like printed from nowhere. It was like it's there. And, okay. I don't know. I don't know. I was a fan of all the tech and stuff. I guess last movie it was a lot more of a focal point. I feel like all the tech and it was like showcasing a lot of it. This one I felt like it was just kind of it's there. It's there. They can use it, but it's not really focused on too much. Right.
But the opera, I forgot about the opera scene. No, that's
the opera is my favorite sequence in the movie. Yeah. There's just a lot of great action, very Indiana Jones-esque, which I don't think this has ever really gotten into. This franchise anyway. Whenever he faces off with a dude who's a lot bigger than him on the catwalk up there and all that, like that's it's slapstick. He falls down, hit the platform, rises up and stuff, and he's like, God damn it, and he like gets up, and I love that shit. That's one of my favorites. One of my favorite action sequences in the entire franchise, just because it's so beautifully shot, beautifully sequenced, gorgeous choreography. It's a great piece of action, and I love the way it culminates. Whenever they're running across the rooftops and they jump down, and she's like, shoes. And he's like, oh, yeah, grabs her shoes, gives them back and stuff. They go down on that rope, and then the whole fucking pole falls down behind them. Dude, it's so good. And frankly, all of the stuff in Vienna, from the moment Simon Pegg shows up off the subway, is incredible. I'm nice tux. by the way, and he like spins around looking for him. I love it. I love it, dude. It's so much fun.
Yeah, I guess I was kind of just grinning ear to ear, like kind of throughout the whole movie. Like it was just a feel good.
It is funny that you say it that way because I wrote a Letterboxd review for this movie. Let's see, when was this? Last November? Mm-hmm. Yeah, November 16th, 2024. This movie makes me giddy, just grinning ear to ear at any given moment.
Wow.
Electric stuff. Rebecca Ferguson, I love you.
Yeah, I feel yes to everything that you said there. Yeah, I mean, it's it was just there was a lot of moving parts like in that opera. I didn't I'm like, who the fuck are these gunmen? I'm like, what's going on here? I'm like, who's killing who? I'm like, what is... So, I mean, I'm trying to figure out that everything's kind of going on. Now that, like, it was told, Lane was setting up all of these tests and it was all insurance, but, blah, blah, blah. It's cool to figure, like, rewatching the movie now, that scene is going to be so much better. Like, just being able to see all the parts, like, moving and like, knowing kind of where all of it leads. I think that is honestly the only gripe I have about the movie is that I was spending too much time trying to figure it out that I wasn't really enjoying the movie as much as I could have been. But it's like, I don't know. It's this weird feeling of now that I know everything, I think I can have that enjoyment. But it's a weird. Usually the first time viewing of twists and everything is better, but I think knowing the direction of this movie actually benefits it a lot. Like I don't know. I think the second viewing would be much better than the first.
I get that.
But,
yeah. No. Yeah, I'm with you, and that's kind of how I felt about this franchise as a whole. Is that I have enjoyed it. I loved it the first time around. Like, don't get me wrong. There's a reason that I was willing to ever rewatch it, But the second time I watched the franchise, I was like, oh, I love this franchise. Like, this is one of my favorite franchises ever, And it's kind of interesting. Seven is kind of... It's a little divisive, You'll see it at the top of some people's, you'll see it at the bottom of others. Like it's it's an interesting one where I've heard like the worst things I've heard about the Mission Impossible franchise, at least modernly, like these 4, 5, 6, 7 era, are about 7. But the closer we get to it, the more I'm excited for it. Like, I love that movie. So, like, I don't know. And the better it gets for me every time I rewatch the franchise and realize what 7's doing, it's just good, man. And I think that, like I've said this every week, we still have a ton to look forward to, even though we only have 2 movies left. These 2 movies, they've got a lot of special stuff going on.
Holy shit. Yeah, that is kind of crazy. 2 left. Fallout doesn't sound too great. Yeah, that's is it just the fallout of there's no one leading the syndicate anymore, so now it's truly unchecked, but the money, it's still blocked. Like I guess Lane has 500 or $50 million, but bro's in prison. I feel like he can get out easily, but I don't know. I don't feel like he's the main villain that's going to continue on. Yeah, I mean, it feels like I kind of hope it's the fallout of the syndicate and not like nuclear fallout. So I mean, because the Kremlin gone. Like they don't have trouble with like actually blowing shit up. And it being leveled, things being leveled, and
we also learned it was in San Francisco where the nuke almost hit. By the way,
that's right. Yes, it was kind of cool that they did realize, like they did actually bring it up, and they're like, oh yeah, we actually didn't know, like they learned this information just now, which was, I don't know, so like did the government, like whenever they said it was a meteor or whatever, is that like they truly thought like they didn't know, or did they know from the jump that like they looked in the river, they found the missile, and they're like, oh well shit, we have to cover this up immediately? Because it seemed that they discovered that information later on. The IMF and the CIA, or the IMF hid the information somehow, or I don't know. But
I'd be willing to bet that if we don't know what something is, to not cause a panic, they would just go, it was a meteor.
Fair. Yeah, it's like, yeah, why be like, well, actually, we don't know, but probably likely a nuclear missile that
Yeah,
could have
right.
killed every single person in a
And
3
yeah, now
mile.
it's
Yeah.
just sitting in the
So,
bottom of the water there. So nobody go fishing, like
yeah. Yeah, and but man, yeah, I got a lot crazy. Like that is the opening, I guess, is that there was a shipment heading out of these somewhere.
mhm.
So I don't know. It was just kind of a quick opening and done with that. Now we're on to Lane and the Syndicate and stuff. But maybe that is I don't know. I mean, it seems that people are trying to launch these missiles at any given point. That people love the idea of just inciting
They
chaos
love
and
nukes. They
yeah.
love nukes, man. And
Mm-hmm.
I won't lie to you.
Mm-hmm.
There's a little nuclear threat
Yeah.
going on in 6.
Yeah.
A little bit. It
Yeah.
also has. I've avoided alluding to this.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
6 is one of the best action movies I've ever seen in my fucking life.
Mm.
Like
Okay. Okay.
not just my favorite Mission Impossible, like genuinely a top 100 favorite movie ever made for me.
Mm. Cool.
I love it with all my heart. I think that you are in for an absolute treat.
Mm-hmm.
It's gorgeous to look at. It's really really well performed. It keeps you on your toes.
Mm.
Yeah, you're in for a treat here. Like Rogue Nation and Ghost Protocol, for me, I love them. Don't hold a fucking candle to Fallout. Like
Mm.
it's a whole other
Okay.
level. You won't be dealing with the problem where you're like, well, they feel like kind of similar movies in terms of just like the way they made you feel and the way they are. Like now,
Mm-hmm.
Fallout, you'll be a little bit more excited about.
Mm. Okay. Yeah, I guess of things that I know still to come, I think it's really only the bike off the cliff. Like
The bike
it's
off the cliff and the
yeah.
arm reload, huh?
And Henry Cavill arm reload. Is that next move? Is that
Mm-hmm.
coming? Let's go. Okay, so
Yeah,
sick.
that's 6.
Yeah, I think that's it.
Um,
I think that's all I know that is coming. So but big, yeah, of a big stunt of next movie, I don't even have a single clue. I don't know. Even the poster, he's in a fight. I don't know. He looks like he's parachuting, jumped out of a plane. That doesn't even really look that familiar.
oh yeah, that's kind of the way they
Mm,
shot that is kind of the big stunt of the movie. It's
mm,
pretty incredible. But
yeah.
yeah, no, the
Oh, maybe. Okay, maybe no, but okay, yeah, yeah. Jumping. Okay, that's
they
right.
do the whole thing where he jumps out of a
That's
plane and they
right.
shoot him the whole way
Literally
down.
the
Like
oneer,
yeah,
yeah, of the
yeah,
okay, that's
yeah.
fucking
You've
insane.
probably seen that. But that
Yeah,
was something that
fair
I loved
enough.
in this movie is that when they're infiltrating the what'd they call it? Skiff or something, the computer facility that they have to
Mm-hmm.
swap out, or like Simon Pegg just kind of drives up, but Rebecca Ferguson and Tom Cruise parachute in.
Yeah.
And they don't spend any time on that. They just kind of drop in from above, and that's that. They shoot a little gun at a
Yeah.
camera that pauses it for a second on their way down, and then that's
Mm-hmm.
that. Also, where'd they get a fucking plane? I don't know. Love it that they did though, and that they don't spend any time
Oh yeah.
talking about it.
Wait, yeah, you're right. They do just appear in the sky. No,
Well,
no.
that's the thing. They can't elaborate on that. They can't elaborate on it because they're not supposed to
Yeah.
have stuff like that. So it's a funny little, not plot
Wow.
hole, but like they shouldn't have a plane. The
They're
fact
just
that they
that
do
good.
is
No,
yeah,
they're
exactly.
just
They
they're
just
that
managed.
good.
They jumped off a nearby mountain. Like that's
Yeah.
that's
They have
headcanon.
identities.
Yeah.
He probably has a plane stored away somewhere. I don't know, in a hangar everywhere in
Yeah.
every city ready to go. But no, I can't believe it. Yeah, that didn't even register at all. I'm just like, yep, they're in, or
Well, and it was
they're on
super
their way.
badass, like it was
Mhm.
actually the first time I've ever thought about it, and I think this is the third time I've watched this movie, and I was like, oh damn, that's cool. They just kind of parachute in, land right where they need to land, and I was like, wait,
Yeah, wait a minute.
another one of my favorite like things I never really noticed is the little hideout that Ethan has under those stairs. Whenever he like pushes a button and Simon Pegg like lowers to the ground and there's a little room hidden behind these like concrete stairs in the middle of some city, like it's not even It was some
When was
completely
that?
innocuous room. It's right before, I think it's outside Vienna. It's right before Simon Pegg delivers that line about how I'm your friend, I'm not going anywhere.
Okay.
Like
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
that room is just some hidden fucking facility
Yeah.
that Ethan Hunt has access to.
Yeah. That's. I mean, I wonder how much on the earth, like what, how much, how many safe rooms, how many of these weird, just I don't know, compartments does he have just
You
around?
push the right button and something
Mm-hmm.
opens up.
Yeah.
How much of that is a real thing? I don't know. I would like to know, because I would like to utilize one if possible. That'd be
That
super cool.
goddamn. Yeah, I stumble upon a fucking IMF like some tech,
Yeah,
and
we
I
probably
mean,
don't make it
but
out of that.
they always have some retinal scan or some, it's got to
Yeah.
verify your identity. I feel like if it scans me, then it's like, oh, insta
Yo,
kill.
the vinyl record player IMF message was fucking clean, dude. That was and like the way it's like it's Solomon Lane's voice coming over, and he's like, and now we know who you are. Like that fucking incredible way to build the tension at the beginning of this movie, man. I loved it.
Just staring at him, just straight up. I'm gonna kill this girl right in front of you, just to show you that I mean business, and I'm gonna let you pass out, and just give you to the bone doctor. I got and to get I guess secrets out. I don't know. I guess so. He just wanted him captured, but he knew eventually, like his ultimate goal was to get Ethan to steal the the syndicate, the money for him to pull the heist for him. So he knew the Bone Doctor. You're like he couldn't have Ethan killed there.
No.
Right? Yeah. So it's like, he kind of needed Ilsa to actually kind of save him and break him out. I don't know. I feel like he is the villain of the movie. The writers' room, they have that luxury of making him know every move. Obviously, it's not like he is figuring this out in real time. But I don't know. I love they do seem, all of the twists and stuff were very. I did not see them coming. Like I don't know. Like it was very. I guess the one was like whenever they had the prime minister in the room, I'm like, okay, either Alec Baldwin or Atlee is not who they are. Like this, one of them is in a mask. I just didn't know which one. But then like whenever he was like, Ethan is the manifestation of, whenever he said that line, I'm like, okay, even Ethan, he would not say that about himself in another person's body. I'm like, it can't be him. So that was whenever I kind of knew. That was the only thing I kind of like was saw coming, I guess. But everything else was, I don't know, I loved every twist or every little chess move, I guess, that Lane played, and just being kind of just one step ahead. And yeah, I mean the end, I don't know. I feel like that was just the perfect way to culminate it all, is Lane feeling like he is, I don't know, still on top the whole time, and like seeing, I don't know, just and getting the performance out of Simon Pegg, and even like still Ilsa is still having to, she has to kill both of them in order for her mission to succeed. It's like there's so many different moving parts like going on all at once, and it's awesome to think about, like to think about now, and like going back is going to be fun. But I think that was really the only downfall, is that there were just so many wheels turning in my head. It was like I don't know. I feel like I was not outside of the movie, or not like taken out, but I was just so into it that like I don't know. I was thinking of every little possibility myself, and every little move that could have been made. So
yeah, right.
But no, it was this, at least I don't know. I like nice to know that they'll be like this, or all from the same guy. Hopefully, Ethan, the character of Ethan, remains like this.
Yeah,
it felt right.
You'll like Ethan, man. Like there's a line that Ethan delivers in 7 that moves me to tears. Just on the principle of how fucking good it is. And I don't mean good in the way that the quality of writing. I mean good at good-hearted, like good man. Like he says something that just makes me go, like, and I'm like, and it's so it's just one line. It's so sweet, and it just fucks me up every time. So like, yeah, and it's Tom Cruise, it's Ethan Hunt. It's just that everything being right in that moment. It's so good. I can't wait to get to it. But Yeah, I don't have much else to say about the movie, man. I love the you were talking about Simon Pegg and the bomb scene there. I love whenever Cruise flips it on him and he says something like you thought you were one step ahead the whole time, and that's how I know I'm going to put you in a box.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
no way. That's awesome. Oh my god.
He says I'll read the whole thing. I've got it here now. I know you, Lane. Somewhere along the line, you had a crisis of faith. Human life didn't matter anymore, or maybe it never really did. Either way, you killed too many innocent people without ever asking who was giving the orders or why. You blamed the system for what you are instead of yourself. You wanted revenge, but Rome wasn't destroyed in a day. You needed help. You needed the money, a lot of it, and you'll stop at nothing to get it. That's how I know I'm going to put you in a box.
Damn, he told him. He told him right away. That's crazy. And to flex with $50 million. I mean, like, it did come from, I guess, the syndicate, I'm assuming. I would love to know if 50 million was the lowest amount in that entire account. Like, if he gave him the smallest amount of money possible that he could have. Because I feel like those accounts were, like, in the billions, or like, I don't know.
A lot of them were.
Or, it was $24 billion or something like that, I think. Or was it true? I don't know. However much it was, but enough to run for decades, I guess, is the what Atlee said. But yeah, that was, I don't know, how it all just kind of unfolded there at the end. It made the end very, very, all the thinking, and during the middle of the movie, the end made it all worth it. Like, the end was it like unraveled beautifully, and not too, I don't know, the third act didn't blow it up even more. It was like, I don't know, it felt like it came to a slower stop. Like, it wasn't like a, I don't know, like a like this is all happening so fast. It was like, no, like, it was very controlled at the end by it. Just seeing every little, I don't know, him finally back in control was just the perfect way to end it. But yeah, I don't know. So the more I think about it, the more I'm actually liking it, like, more than the last one.
Right.
The more I do reminisce on it, it is like getting better. So
yeah, it's a fun one to think back on. And that's the thing though, is that, like, Ghost Protocol, man, that's a goddamn movie, man.
Yeah.
It is hard for me to tell you I like one of these more than the other as far as Ghost Protocol versus Rogue Nation. It'll be interesting. We'll get to the rating here in a moment, but before we do, I will go ahead and do the plugs. If you would, leave a 5-star rate and review and download wherever you might be listening. It is a huge help. That those are the numbers that I can see. And I appreciate seeing them. I don't know how many streams we get. I don't know how many people start the episodes or listen to them. I only know how many people download and how many people rate and review. So that would be a huge help. You can subscribe on YouTube, The Cinementalists, exactly as it's spelled here. You can stick around for our other shows. We also do Fire Pod with me, a Twin Peaks podcast, friendly to the first-time viewer and the rewatcher alike. I am the rewatcher, and Joe is the first-time viewer. We're a little bit into season 2 now, which is it's been a lot of fun. If you've never seen Twin Peaks, go ahead and start watching it, and you can listen along with us as you dive on into it. If you have seen Twin Peaks, dive on in wherever. It's friendly to the rewatcher too. So we got that going on. That's every Monday. Currently, today is might be the second set of Andor episodes. We had episodes 4 through 6 come out this week. Joe is breaking the timeline a little bit right now. He's out of town currently, so there's a chance we didn't get that recorded this morning. If not, it'll be out May 4th, and we'll get it all done there. Let's see. I think that's everything we got going on. Yeah, we'll be back next week with Mission Impossible 6 Fallout. Very, very excited for that. I've obviously built that one up a little bit for Joe here. I'm a big fan of that one. I'm very excited. Let's see. Yeah, and then after the Mission Impossible franchise, because we are closing in, where we only got 3 weeks left.
Yeah.
Here in a month, it'll be June, and we'll be celebrating Pride Month with some good ass movies. We're gonna be doing some queer films. We got Portrait of a Lady on Fire on the docket. Let's see. Do we have those officially in the calendar?
Yeah.
Okay.
Queer?
Then I can just look at that.
Yeah.
We got Portrait of a Lady on Fire to start. Queer by Luca Guadagnino the next week. On Juneteenth, we're going to cover Moonlight. The day after, we're going to cover I Saw the TV Glow, and we'll finish the month out with The Handmaiden. Very, very excited for that. That's what we've got coming in June. So after Mission Impossible, it's all gay all the time here. So can't wait for that. Yeah, so that's what we've got coming up. But yeah, how are we rating this movie? Rogue Nation, where's it land? On a scale of 1 to 10. You're encompassing all your feelings about Rogue Nation into a number. What
Obviously, there is one true answer, there is the right answer. No, I think if I could, I would love to give this. I think I'd give this the edge over Ghost Protocol. Now that I think about it, but to do that would kind of mean to give it a 9, and I don't know if this is quite a 9. Is the only thing. So. But I would place it. I think this is my number 2 right now. 1, and then this, and then 4. But very close.
Gotcha.
4 and 5 are very, very close. But
I'm with you.
I do think I give this one the edge. So I would.
So
give
you're going to go 8.75, but you
Yes.
would give it the edge.
Yes, in spirit, a little bit above, but in the true number,
I like it.
I guess
I
an
will give it.
8.75.
I will give it the literal edge then, and I'll give it a 9.
There we go. Bam.
So the average will come to just above an 8.75.
Man, we finally have math to do.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess not 8 forever. So it's just
Cool.
very 8 movie.
Yep.
So,
Gave that edge to it. And I wanted to figure out a way to do that because I think I do like this one slightly more than Ghost Protocol.
Yeah.
And it really comes down to the supporting players, man. You know, like as much as I liked Brandt and I liked Paula Patton, and you know, as much as I liked them in 4, we just take a step up with Benji here. So Benji's automatically better. Yep. We might take a step down with Brandt, but we take that and we step up with Ilsa Faust here. Luther's a little more involved, which is, I mean, a lot more involved. So that's automatically better. Only thing that this movie could have benefited from is if Leah Seydoux was in it. So, like, you know, that's the only thing 4 has up on 5 for me is that it doesn't have Leah Seydoux.
Fair enough.
But
Rebecca
I
Ferguson
think that's
and Leah Seydoux. I guess Dune
too
does
much
do
power.
that, actually.
Yes,
That's
it actually
crazy.
does do that. Dune 2 does that indeed.
Desert power, man. Well, that's been a Jesuit power there.
Yes, it is. They are both Bene
But,
Gesserits.
Yeah. So, man.
But
8. I don't know. It feels right. Yeah, just a little bit above. So
8's repeating. I like it. I like it a lot. But we will conclude this episode of The Cinementalists, and we will be back next week with MI6. I was Colton Robertson. I was joined by Joseph George. Thank you very much, homie.
Oh, thank you for having me. It's always a pleasure to be here.
Oh, and it's always a pleasure to have you. And remember, I can neither confirm nor deny details of any operation without the Secretary's approval.